Welcome to Real Talk, the accountability series. I'm your host, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. Taz, and my co-host is OnJerya Smith. I'm going to bring in our folks over on IG, and I think we've got our folks over on YouTube. So we've got everybody to the table. Real Talk is presented by DQ Consulting, LLC, empowering individuals and businesses to grow with clarity and confidence. I got to tell y'all something. It's a lot happening, but I got to show you something. The bill came. You know, sometimes I don't know if I've learned anything, but you know what I've learned? Most of us check our bank account more often than we check our hearts. We know our credit score. We know what we owe everybody else. But here's my question. Do you know what staying in the same... How was it? Do you know what staying the same has already cost you? Not what it might cost someday, but what is it already costing you?
You see how to take a sip of, this is not tea because I'm not drinking tea.
Some people always have something to drink.
Yes, but I'm not drinking tea tonight. I'm drinking that dragon fruit and the lemonade. Pink dragon fruit with the lemonade. So no tea. So it's funny that you're talking about this, okay? Because I had to take me a good old sip. I feel like girls gonna win for a treat. I immediately, when you held up the envelope with the bill, I was like, oh Lord, did I even go to the mailbox today? I got my little informed delivery, letting me know I had something in there, but I ain't had time to go see, because as we all know, normally it's bills and what they call it, the little flyers and stuff,
circulars and things like that.
Yeah, the little circulars, and we don't really care about that. So when you held up that envelope, I immediately thought about money. But the more I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, I realized that the biggest thing that I've lost weren't my finances. Contrary to popular belief, right? Our biggest loss had nothing to do with our finances. Sometimes it's my peace, it's my confidence. Sometimes it's just time that, I just can't get back. And you know how we are on time. We will do any and everything. But, I'm real careful when it comes to my time. Because what they say, what money is time, time is money. Mm-hmm. So, I'm real funny about that. So when you held that envelope up, I said, my, she must be talking about me.
Well, now, I didn't mean to be talking about you, OnJerya, but, what you just said is so true for many of us. The most expensive loss in life really doesn't show up in the bank statement because, as we say, time is money, and you can't get your time back once you realize you've been going in the wrong direction. And, to me, sometimes it's like that shows up in relationships we never repaired, or relationships we didn't even understand. And when I use the term relationships, I'm thinking about all kinds of relationships, work, personal, our friends, our organizations, faith, community, neighborhood. Every kind of relationship or every situation is a relationship. even the relationship you have with yourself, because it may not be a person, another person, but we have a relationship with ourselves. And sometimes we may, our dreams may get, what's the word I want to use?
Oh, like a dream deferred.
Thank you. I just love OnJerya. Your dreams get deferred and because of somebody else's dream. You know, conversations you never had, and it's like, and this time I'm talking about the conversation you didn't have with yourself. So that bill that we're talking about today, I want everybody to who's watching, who's listening, I want you to answer one question. And always remember, there is no perfect answer. It's just the answer that is honest for you, because this is for your well-being. It's not for mine. I have to do it for me. And the question is, what has staying the same already cost you? What has staying the same already cost you? And I want you to think about it. Examples could be like, Anjay's already said, your peace, your confidence,
Yep.
your health. It may have cost you your marriage, your relationship. It could have cost you your BFF, time, your finances. And I don't want to say this one, but maybe even your purpose, because purpose is tied to so much. So when we lose our purpose, sometimes we really just sort of wander around.
True, true. And the thing is, nobody's answer is going to be the same, right? Because our experiences are not the same. We've all had to pay the price for something.
For something.
Maybe we didn't want to, but unfortunately we had to. And, as you stated, it could have been relationships, could have been, your peace, your joy, your happiness, putting yourself on the back burner, putting others before you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're making that sacrifice that sometimes you really don't have to make.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't have to make, but it was a choice. So yeah, we all go through it, right? We got to pay the price. So my thing is, what price are you paying as a result of the things that you've chosen to take on that you didn't need to take on?
Well, I think that you kind of hit on something, OnJerya. I think sometimes we don't realize that we're avoiding something. Now we know when we avoid work. We know when we avoid maybe some people. But those things that are so intricate to us, I don't think sometimes we realize that we're avoiding them. Until maybe something happens, and then it's like, oh, I remember I was going to do XYZ. And it reminds me of a person I met years ago. And she always talked about going back to school. And I have a friend who I met years ago, and she was like that too. She's like, she's gonna go back to school and finish her degree. Well, we met, and I guess the synergy of being around me, she was able to go back to school and complete her degree. Then she got her law degree. But this other person, she was like, I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna go back to school. So every January she would get her planner. And she'd write her new goals, and this is my year. Then life would happen. The bills, the kids, work, all those responsibilities. And then it was like 10 years later, she finally had to admit that I wasn't waiting on time. She was really waiting. How did she put it? She was afraid. So she kept delaying it because she was afraid to do it. But every year, I'm going back to school, I'm going back to school. But she had this fear. And basically, she was paralyzed by the fear. And, it made me stop and think that how many times are we frozen in place also because of fear? And we're waiting for something that's never going to happen because we're not comfortable with it occurring from an unknown perspective. Because when we know how things are going to unfold, it's easy to be comfortable. But most times we don't know. And that's the reason I said the fear had her paralyzed for 10 years. And the other friend, she done gone back to school, completed her undergraduate degree, went out of state to law school, practicing attorney. And then the other person, she was still buying her planner, her New Year's planner, writing down her goals. But one thing I want to say with that, guys, because I thought it was so freeing when she was able to say, I was afraid. I was afraid. You talk about accountability, OnJerya, but that one thing to be able to say, I was afraid, because once you can name it, then you can start putting supports in place so that you don't have to be afraid. You got people who can help you. And like with her, she had me, she had the other person. We could help her. We could become her cheerleaders, help her put her supports in place and help coach on how to do things. But she had to admit that she was afraid in order for things to proceed,
Well, that's just like what they say when you are confessing of your sins. It's like that's basically what she had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I can kind of relate to that, in some aspects, because life really do be life, and it's easy to say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll do it next week. Why? Oh, the kids got this going on, that's going on. Oh, it'll be there tomorrow. Oh, it'll be there. And then the next thing you know, months have gone by, years have gone by. Oh, I'll wait till the kids are grown. That's the favorite one right there. Oh, I can start living my life once the kids are grown. And as an adult with adult parents, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, that now have become the children, there's no such thing as, I'll do that when the kids are grown, because guess what? The kids are grown and we still taking care of the parents, AKA the kids. Okay. So just putting it off, unfortunately, it doesn't help you. It hurts you. And you are the one that suffers, right? Because no one else is suffering but you. Because everybody else is continue moving right along, like your friend. You said she done went on to law school, out of state, living her best life. And baby girl's still over there. Well, when it's time, that's just like I said, we know every January 1st, the clock reset. Oh, I got to lose weight, New Year's resolution. Now, we already know that when January 1st roll around and we say, I'm going to focus on this year, you already done and over with. It don't even have, look, it's midnight. New year, new me.
Mm-hmm.
12:01. New year, same me. I mean, come on, it's nice to say that, but you have to have some sort of accountability. You have to have some sort of village that's going to support you and basically hold your hand and say, look, you said you wanted to do this. Now don't be barking at me when I get on you because you didn't do this, because you wanted me to hold you accountable. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because again, it's easy to say that, oh, after this season, I'm going to focus on me. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you are. But the life is going to continue to give you another season. And my thing is, how many more seasons are going to pass you by before you actually take that time to focus on you. Yeah, the kids are going to be grown, but then something else is going to come up. And next thing you know, life has passed you by. Oh, I'm going to take that trip, next year. Why are you waiting the next year? Well, it's a lot going on. Okay, well, it can be more going on next year, right? Are you going to use that same excuse? Just push the fear aside. It's okay to be afraid. It's
It
okay.
is.
It's okay. Like, I mean, it's like I was in a meeting today. Matter of fact, one of them meetings, I can't tell you which one. I don't even remember. It was like, we understand that there's a lot of things that are happening and it's unknown, right? And it's scary. It's scary. Anytime that you're going through a transition of any kind, whether it's at work, whether it's with relationships, or whether it's just with yourself, it's scary because you don't know what to expect, right? But we know how our day to day go. Okay, I'm going to get up at this time. I'm going to do my meditation. Or I'm going to go work out, or I'm going to go meal prep. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the kids ready. I'm going to drop them off at camp. I'm going to go to work. Like when we know like our normal schedule, we're comfortable with that. But guess what? Today, I did all of that, left at the time I normally left, and boom, an accident happened. So now I'm delayed. Oh, now that just done threw my whole day off. Why? Because I was comfortable with doing the norm. But sometimes we have to be uncomfortable at times so that we can get comfortable again and change that thought process.
Yeah, I think, OnJerya, that what you said is so spot on. I'm reminded of a graphic or whatever that I saw on social media. And the thing was, do you remember when we were kids and, we'd be on swings and the people be pushing you?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go higher, I want to go higher, I want to go higher. And then, we would even jump
Up, yep.
off the swing. Now, I don't know what kind of faith we had then. But we had no fear. It was like we could do anything. And I think sometimes, I don't want us to be reckless, guys, but I think sometimes we need to get just a little bit of that back because then, and I know we didn't understand the world and all the different things, but we had a belief in ourselves that we could do anything. And when we have that sort of belief, we're able to err on the side of caution for in our benefit because it's like, okay, I know this is this, but I can do it. I can do it. And like with my example, she knew she had support, but she was afraid. She couldn't jump off the swing. She couldn't. And I think about the merry-go-round too. I don't know if they used to do this when you were a little girl, but we'd be at school, we'd be on the merry-go-round and somebody be, turning around and then they jump on, because they didn't jump off, they jumped on. And, we'd just be having a great time. Yeah. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
But we knew we could do it. We knew we were not going to get thrown out because we holding on for dear life because sometimes they be going so fast. But we knew that we could. And I think that sometimes we've forgotten that when life is happening, that we were able to survive things before.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can do it before, we can do it again. But we have to realize that there is a cost when we don't engage in something, and it's hard to engage. I'm the first one to say that it's hard. It's not always that I know that I need to engage. Sometimes I don't even know it because I'm so insulated from it. I've just been, like you said, I'm doing what I always do. I wasn't expecting there to be an accident. Now that then delays me. And all of that makes a difference when you're trying to move from one place to the next. I want to say that this segment is brought to you by Irene Baxberg. After a life-changing accident left her in chronic pain, Irene refused to give up. Today, she inspires others by sharing her journey to hope and healing. Follow Irene Baxberg on Instagram. Find her at Got Health _Vaxberg. That's VAKSBERG. Vaxberg. Now, that was my person that kept saying, I'm going back to school beginning of the year. I want you to answer this question. But you're going to answer it to yourself. So I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to imagine your life exactly as it is today. Now imagine nothing changes for the next 5 years. Same habits, fears, excuses. Now answer this honestly. Would you be proud of where your current direction is taking you? Would you be proud of where your current direction is taking you? I hope that silence felt a little uncomfortable, because sometimes the truth doesn't need more words, it just needs room. It needs room to breathe. I don't think that we need another motivational quote sometimes. I think that we need silence. And while we're in this silent state, I'm going to pick up. Let me see if I can open this, see what's in it. This is what avoidance charges us. It charges all of us this. It don't do it all at once, but over time, day after day, excuse, being delayed in what you're planning to do for whatever reason, a postponed decision. That's what it costs us.
Are you going to read that to the people?
Well, okay, y'all can see it. I'm sorry. Time, peace, health, relationships, confidence, purpose. That's what it cost us.
Well. I must say, the hardest thing is realizing that those lovely things that you mentioned, that we didn't lose them overnight, right? It was a slow progression of everything that we lost: our time, our peace, our health, our relationships, our confidence, our purpose. Because again, it's so easy to get lost in the sauce, lost in the shuffle, and focused on others versus focusing on self. So we traded them little by little, bit by bit, piece by piece. And at the end of the day, we are the one that's suffering. We are the one who is losing out because of the choices that we make.
But OnJerya, the thing about life is that we don't have to keep paying that cost.
No.
We don't have to keep paying the cost.
You're right. You're absolutely right. We don't have to do the overthinking. I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of overthinking. We all are. Um, but just ask yourself, is it fear or is it faith? Is it your comfort or is it growth? Is it wanting to seek others' approval or is it about wanting to have peace? Are you waiting for someone to tell you that you did a good job and proud of you? Or are you becoming the best version of yourself that you can be for yourself, not for anybody else? Are you continuing to make excuses? Or are we using that big old A word? Are you finally going to hold yourself accountable? Are you going to hold yourself accountable? Let me hold your hand while you do it, because we can hold each other accountable. The thing is, as Teresa oh so nicely always tells us, the answer to each one of those sentences is fast and it's natural. But that's why it sounds so familiar, right? Because as you guys know, this is why good old Desmond's story, Brother Desmond, with all of us. We Desmond, we Denise, we all that. His story feels so real because it's our story. He wasn't just a bad man. He just kept believing he had more time. And for a lot of us, we always feel like we have more time. But the thing is, tomorrow's not promised.
Mm-mm.
So what they say, why put off today? Why put off for tomorrow what you can do today?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why wait till tomorrow to make that change? Why not make that change today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tomorrow I'm going to go on a walk. Why we got to wait till tomorrow? Why not do a 2-minute walk today? Oh, I'm going to check my oil. I'm going to check my oil tomorrow. Why are you going to check the oil tomorrow? I'm going to do it first thing in the morning. Uh-huh. And then tomorrow morning comes and you're going to hop in the car and you're going to turn it on and you're going to be like, ooh, I was supposed to check my oil. Well, now I can't check it because I done turned the car on. Okay, well, I'll check it when I get back in the car.
You don't think about it then.
You don't think about it then. Mm-hmm. So this understanding, this I don't know, conception, I got more time. No, baby, you don't have the time. There's only 24 hours in the day. And between eating, sleeping, working, whatever work consists of, whether you're going to school, where you're working a 9 to 5, you might be working 4 10s, 4 11s, 4 12s, whatever your schedule is, the time doesn't exist. So why not do it now? Make that change now. Lord, we got to have an altar call.
We got to have an altar call.
We got to have an altar call. We haven't done that in a while.
No, we haven't.
Yeah. But yeah, why put it off when you can do it today?
Well, OnJerya, when I decided that I was going to do Cracks in the Empire, first of all, I want to say hello to Harrison, 8415418 over on IG. I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. And, when I first started writing Cracks in the Empire, of course, that I have been working on parables for quite some time because I knew that I wanted to bring to the audience, and my hope is that they'll be receptive of it, another way to engage in tough conversations.
Yeah.
Because anytime you are talking about personal growth and personal development, that is so challenging. And I find that we all like a good story. We like a good movie. House of Vicious. Did I say it correctly?
Yeah.
Which I've not seen, but I just saw a little clip that someone had put on Facebook. And I'm like, okay. And the clip that I saw was the character's mother telling her basically to pull herself together. She didn't raise her like that, and she gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And then the character, she's crying, her mother's wiping her face. And so then she goes into her office, I guess.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are they trying to do this to me? Blah, blah, blah. And then she sees something. Well, I'm trying to figure out what she sees too, because she look up there and it's like there's a camera. And then in the darkness, there's a body that is over in the corner. Because at first we didn't see the body, something like we couldn't make it out. But there's a body kind of propped up over in the corner. Well, now let me tell you, I now need to get up on the House of Vicious. Because, I don't know nothing about it, but my girl is in there. And that got my attention. Because not only is she was losing it beforehand, then she gets to her office and appears to be a dead body, or there's some kind of body over in the corner. Then it switches to an elevator scene. This guy is standing out there, and another person walks up with a bag of a garment bag with some clothes in it, and we don't see that person. But then we see this lady, and the three of them are in the elevator, but we don't see who the person is that's coming with this garment bag. Well, that's exactly the reason why I wrote Cracks in the Empire. Because sometimes it's easier for us to do the hard work that we have to do when we entertain just a little bit. Because when I get entertained, I'm thinking about, Desmond, and how did he get in this position? He's sort of like this person from the house, what is it called again? I forgot the name of this.
House of Vicious.
House of Vicious, even though I don't know what's going on with this person. But they may have some similarities, because both of them have built an empire, I'm assuming. And there's some cracks in her empire. I'm thinking hers is the clothing industry, and his is architect. So they both got cracks in the empire. And we rooting for her. I'm hoping people rooting for Tammy. Y'all know I like Tammy Roman. I don't even know the character name. But I'm hoping people rooting for her. And they might see bits and pieces of themselves in her character. Maybe her mama reminds them of their mama. And I don't know all these other people. Because I just saw that little clip. I don't know the show. But sometimes when we are entertained, it's easier for me to engage with myself, because I realize, so they're writing about this. So I know I can't be the only person in the world that has been going through this. Thank you so much, George Edward Loudon. Thank you for joining us, and please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Thank you for joining us over on IG. So again, I wrote the book as a parable, because if we go back to when we were children, also we learned from parables. The tortoise and the hare, Aesop fables. That's how we learned, and they were quite interesting, And so I wanted for us to engage in this sort of content, but in a lighter manner. Because life is so heavy anyway. As you talk about life be lifing. Okay. And I'm trying to do this type of work too, and do everything else that I have to be responsible for. It gets overwhelming. And if we wonder sometimes why people are not able to do what they might know that they need to do, because they're trying to deal with life. And then I got to deal with this too. It's too much. But if I was able to give it to them in a different way, then maybe it would be like, oh, okay, I'm not alone, because this happens to other people too. Situations are different, but it happens to them. They finally figure out how to get through it. Then that can encourage me that I can get through it also. And so, again, that's why I wrote it, because unfortunately, we cannot ignore everything forever. I think about folks who may be diabetics, people who may have hypertension, high blood pressure. At some point, I hope you will listen to the doctor and take your insulin, take your high blood pressure medicine. Because if you keep ignoring that, even though you know you're supposed to take it, your health is going to suffer. And that's the way it is with all these other parts of our life also. So, today, it probably challenged you a little bit, but I don't want anybody to feel guilty about anything. We are all going through this experience called life.
Yep.
We are up and we are down. Sometimes we don't know which way to go. But I believe it's never too late to course correct, to go in a different direction. It's just an intentional step every day and every second of the day, because our next chapter is still being written. And I don't care if somebody else had the pen. You can take the pen back from them and you can rewrite your story. You have the authority to do that. And you can write it a little bit at a time, like a dash. That dash today. Do another dash tomorrow. Another dash the next day. It doesn't have to happen overnight. Because again, every time you do a little dash, that means you change something. You have to adjust to that. And if what you change impacts other people, you got to adjust to them, how they now want to interact with you. So it never changes overnight. Never. So if you're thinking that you got to just jump on it and it's going to be like, no, don't put that type of expectation on yourself, because that's too much. Okay. Again, that's the reason why I wrote Cracks in the Empire, because I believe that we all deserve, first of all, the best version of the life that we want, and that we can all make a change. As Michael said, we can make a change. We just have to start with the woman or the man in the mirror and understand we're going to be the same person tomorrow. So we're going to have to work a little bit more tomorrow, and so on and so on and so on. So thank you guys for joining us for this week. Now, next week, OnJerya, is it's going to be our final conversation, first of all. And I think we're looking at living the life you were meant to live, moving beyond the crack. Because I will tell you, Desmond, he gets there, but it's an intentional thing. But, he keeps trying to not go into it. He wants to stay on the straight and narrow. And just as he's able to do that, we can do it too. It's just, again, one small step at a time, but we can rebuild it. And we understand that because accountability isn't the destination, transformation is. And that happens one little small dash at a time. We do that dash today. Tomorrow we do another little dash. And so on and so on and so on. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, OnJerya, for walking with me as we continue to unpack Cracks in the Empire with Real Talk, Cracks in the Empire. It has been just such a learning curve for me, because I guess I always learn from the audience. I'm calling the audience, I guess, because sometimes they be writing little stuff for me, and I be like, that's right on. So it's always, and I think as I leave you, I want to say this: that right there tells you that we're all in this together. Nobody has all the answers. We're all in it together. And as long as we can keep that sort of perspective and know we're going to do a little bit each day, we will eventually get there. And to those who joined us live, thank you so much for joining us. Those who will catch the replay, thank you so much for joining us also. And everybody, you know the drill. Before we go trying to take care of someone else, we got to take care of ourselves first. And we can do it by starting with the man or the woman in the mirror. Bye now.
Bye.